Hello friends, today our topic is conversion of a galvanometer into a voltmeter and an ammeter. So we take up one by one. First we take up conversion of galvanometer into a voltmeter. Conversion. A galvanometer can be converted into a voltmeter by connecting a high resistance in series with it. This is a galvanometer. We connect a high resistance in series with it. It becomes a voltmeter. By connecting high resistance in series with galvanometer, it becomes a voltmeter. So how we can convert a galvanometer into voltmeter? By connecting a high resistance in series with galvanometer, a galvanometer can be converted into a voltmeter. The question arises, why high resistance are in series with galvanometer? Because voltmeter is always connected in parallel with the circuit. Whenever we are to measure potential difference, we connect voltmeter in parallel with the circuit. Now because voltmeter is always connected in parallel with the circuit across which potential difference is to be measured, if not high R, it would draw current from the circuit under measurement and will change actual potential difference across it. So it will draw some current from the circuit under measurement, so it will change the potential difference across the circuit. So an ideal voltmeter should have infinite resistance such that current drawn from the circuit is almost zero or minimum. It will draw current for its operation from the circuit, so it should be minimum or zero, almost zero. For ideal voltmeter, it is zero. Current drawn is zero and resistance is infinite. But practically, we have high resistance of the voltmeter. So voltmeter must have very high resistance, and ideal should have infinite resistance. Now question arises again, how much R is needed? Now to calculate the value of R, we consider this circuit a galvanometer G with resistance G, a high R in series with it, and across A and B the potential difference which is to be measured. So this is the circuit diagram. Now how much R is needed? Consider a galvanometer of resistance G and full scale deflection current Ig, FSD, full scale deflection current Ig, such that potential difference for full scale deflection across galvanometer is V equal to Ig into G, where V is full scale deflection voltage, FSDV of galvanometer. So these are the specifications of galvanometer to be converted into voltmeter and are supplied by the manufacturer. Now let V be the maximum voltage to be measured and R be the resistance required to be connected in series with galvanometer. Let us look. Let V be the maximum voltage to be measured and R is a high resistance to be connected in series with galvanometer. Let Ig be the full scale deflection current flowing through galvanometer. Now applying Kirchhoff's voltage law to closed mesh A, C, D, B, A. A, C, D, B, A. A, C, D, B, A. So applying Kirchhoff's voltage law, we write minus IGR minus Ig into G plus capital V is equal to 0. Applying Kirchhoff's voltage law to closed mesh A, C, D, B, A, we have minus IGR minus Igg plus V equal to 0, or V is equal to IGR plus IG into G. We take out IG common, R plus G. Now we put IG, value of IG, V divided by G, small v divided by G, FSD voltage of galvanometer, into R plus G, because V is equal to IG into G and IG is equal to V by G. Or V is equal to small v into R by G plus 1. We take G inside, R by G plus G by G is 1. Okay. Now V divided by V. Maximum voltage to be measured divided by FSD voltage of galvanometer is equal to 1 plus R by G and is called as multiplication factor. That is, when V is multiplied by this factor, FSD voltage is multiplied by this factor, we get maximum PD. Now from above equation 1, let us mark it as equation 1. So from above equation 1, we have R by G is equal to capital V by small v minus 1, or R is equal to, so from above equation 1, we have R by G equal to V by V minus 1, and from here we have R is equal to V by V minus 1 into G, galvanometer resistance, and is the required value of R for measuring maximum potential difference V. So thus, how much R is to be connected, we can evaluate from this formula. G and G, this G and V. G and V, these are two parameters which are supplied by manufacturer, and V is our choice which is to be measured, maximum value of potential difference to be measured. We substitute these values and calculate R. We connect this R in series with this galvanometer with this specification, and we can measure this value V maximum. So thus a galvanometer is converted into a voltmeter which can measure maximum value of V. Now assignment 5. Question number 12. Convert 1 milliampere FSD current galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm into a voltmeter that can read 1 volt full scale deflection. So maximum value of 1 volt it should read. So the value of R should be equal to 900 ohm. This is the answer. Question number 13. A galvanometer coil has a resistance of 15.0 ohm and the meter shows full scale deflection for a current of 2.0 milliampere. How will you convert the meter into a voltmeter of range 0 to 15 volt? So you have to calculate value of R. Question number 14. A galvanometer with a coil of resistance 12 ohm shows FSD current of 2.5 milliampere. How will you convert the galvanometer into a voltmeter of range 0 to 10 volt? Determine the net resistance of the meter when voltmeter is put across a part of a circuit. Does it read slightly less or more than the original voltage drop? Explain. So here is the value 3.988 kilo ohm. Now we come to second part, conversion of galvanometer into an ammeter. How a galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter. First we take up conversion. A galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter by connecting a low resistance in parallel with it. This is galvanometer. This is low resistance, S, shunt resistance. So in parallel with galvanometer. Now this galvanometer with a shunt resistance S in parallel with it, it becomes an ammeter. Thus a galvanometer can be converted into an ammeter by connecting a low resistance in parallel with it. The question rises, why a low resistance or low shunt S? Why the value of shunt should be very low? Now because an ammeter is always connected in series with the circuit through which current flow is to be measured. So this is our resistance R1, this is the resistance R2, in between we connect ammeter, current is passing through the ammeter. Since it has to measure current flowing through the circuit, and it is always connected in series with the circuit. Therefore, it should have a low resistance. An ammeter should have low resistance, ideally zero resistance. Now, if not low shunt S, it would impede the current flow. If shunt is not low, ammeter does not have low value of resistance, then it will impede the current flow and will not read actual current flowing through the circuit. Therefore, an ideal ammeter should always have zero resistance. So, as low as possible practically. Now, how much S is required? Consider a galvanometer of resistance G and full scale deflection current Ig, such that FSD potential PD across galvanometer B, say V, small v, is equal to Ig into G. Small v is FSD PD, full scale deflection PD, V. Now, these are the specifications of galvanometer to be converted into an ammeter, which are supplied by the manufacturer. Now, let I be the maximum current to be measured. I be the maximum current to be measured by the ammeter, and S be the shunt resistance required to be connected in parallel with galvanometer. This is the circuit of ammeter. Since G and S are connected across same points A and B, therefore PD across both will be same. That is, Ig into G must be equal to I minus Ig into S. Because I is the current, here current will divide, Ig will flow through galvanometer and I minus Ig will pass through S. So, therefore, Ig into G must be equal to I minus Ig into S. Now, from equation 1 we have S equal to Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. Let us mark it as equation 2. And it is the value of shunt needed to measure maximum value of current I. Now, multiplication factor. From equation 1 we have S into I minus Ig is equal to Ig into G, or open this bracket, Si minus Sig is equal to Ig into G, or Si is equal to Ig into G plus, इसको इधर we'll bring this to this side, Ig into G plus Ig into S. This will come this side, Ig into S, and it is equal to, we take out Ig common, G plus S. Ig is common. Now, I, we find out the value of I from here. I is equal to Ig into G plus S by S. This S will come this side, G plus S by S, or I divided by Ig is equal to G by S plus 1, or I divided by Ig is equal to 1 plus G by S, and is the multiplication factor. That is, when Ig is multiplied by this factor, we get maximum current I that can be measured. Okay, so when Ig is multiplied by this factor, we get maximum current that can be measured with the help of ammeter. Now, assignment question number 15. Convert 1 milliampere FSD galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm into an ammeter that can read 1 ampere FSD. Okay, so you are to find out here the value of shunt resistance to be connected in parallel with galvanometer. Now, question number 16. A galvanometer coil has a resistance of 15.0 ohm and meter shows full scale deflection for a current of 2.0 milliampere. How will you convert the meter into an ammeter of range 0 to 15 ampere? Okay. and you have to calculate. Question number 17. A galvanometer coil of resistance 12.0 ohm shows a full-scale deflection for a current of 2.5 milliampere. How will you convert the galvanometer into an ammeter of range 0 to 10 ampere? Determine, B part, determine the net resistance of ammeter. C part, when an ammeter is put in a circuit, does it read slightly less or more than actual current flowing in the circuit? Explain. Now other questions can be why an ammeter should have low resistance and why a voltmeter should have high resistance. Explain. So this is all about current loop. Next time we will take up motion of charge in uniform magnetic field. That will be our next topic. Thank you so much.